In 1814, the second president of Haiti outlawed many Voodoo practices. However, more recently, in 2003, the newly elected Haitian president and former priest, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, controversially decreed Voodoo as an official religion of Haiti, along with Catholicism.
There is a small community of people across the world who practice a very mysterious religion called Voodoo.
You guys check it out, that is a masquerade.
This religion has been said to be involved in rituals, black magic, witchcraft, and the worst evil things you could probably think of. In this video, I'm traveling to a country where this mysterious religion is still being practiced to understand why everybody is so afraid of it. From doing some research, I also heard that this religion has a powerful spirit which floats in the air, and my plan was to find out if they were lying to all of us.
What are the 21 divisions? What's the difference with 21 divisions, Dominican Voodoo and Haitian Voodoo? I tell them there's no difference. There is no difference. The thing is, if we erase the border, okay, 21 is a symbolic or spiritual number. So it doesn't actually mean there are 21 nations. There's way more, okay? A lot of people also say there's 101. That's also another symbolic number. There's way more. Many nations, many groups, many subgroups.
Voodoo does not come from West Africa. Let me repeat. The term voodoo does not come from West Africa. It's a French term that comes from Vaudois, Vaudai, and Vaudou. Okay? And the melanated Moors in France created the French language, and they were the ones who created Vaudois, Vaudai, Vaudou, and then when they came to Haiti, when the French Moors were enslaved and were transported to Haiti, they changed it to Voodoo.
The key to understanding Voodoo is that it's pre-literate. It's not written. It has no central authority, no sacred text. So there's multiple variations on the story. And also Yagba's got different names and things like that.
The Voodoo religion of Benin, West Africa. Voodoo, also known as Vodun or Vodou, is a traditional religion originating in West Africa, particularly in the region that is now Benin. It is one of the oldest religions in the world deeply rooted in the spiritual and cultural practices of the Fon and Ewe peoples of Benin and Togo.
The origins of voodoo is West Africa more than 6,000 years ago. So it's a very old cultural practice. There is a big misconception that voodoo came from the islands of Haiti and Dominican Republic. However, this is not true because we know in the 16th and 19th century, slave ships with captured Africans made their way to the Americas where they brought this cultural practice with them.
In 1820, at the foot of the palace stairs near the church, the eccentric king ended his own life by shooting himself with a golden bullet fired from his silver revolver. He had repressed his subjects to such a degree that they rose up against him and forced him to commit suicide. A simple monument brings him together with the other fathers of the nation at the top of a hill near Cape Haitian. The voodoo phenomenon was born during this period of struggle in spite of the colonial authorities and repression of the church. The African gods that traveled in the slaves' minds had intermingled with the Catholic doctrine of the settlers. A new religion had been born.
Voodoo first came to Louisiana with enslaved West Africans who merged their religious rituals and practices with those of the local Catholic population. New Orleans voodoo is also known as voodoo Catholicism. It is a religion connected to nature, spirits, and ancestors. Voodoo grew in popularity here in New Orleans when followers flee Haiti after the 1791 slave revolt and moved to New Orleans. This saw the number of people practicing it increasing and making it part and parcel of their culture.
I've had Catholic nuns from the convent right down the street pass me in front of my store, and instead of passing directly in front of my store, they'll cross the street and do this. I've seen grown women, grown-ass women, nuns, walking like this. I was born in New Orleans East. I went to school at Brother Martin. I was going to study to be a seminarian. In Voodoo, we still keep Sunday as God's Day. We still consider Voodoo as monotheistic. All the spirits that we serve are akin to the saints, is that we pray to them to intercede on our behalf to a greater God. Many Catholics are still very spooked by Voodoo and the practice. They don't understand it, But I've had a few wonderful conversations with some Catholic priests. And one of the things that I've gleaned from these religious discussions is that there's not too much of a difference. The morals are the same. The feeling and the working and the way that we serve the Spirit is not dissimilar.
How people live every day, day by day, minute per minute. This is who we are. This is all the Catholic saint that you see that has been adopted in the Voodoo world, because through slavery time, the slave was not allowed to practice their own way of life, their own religion.
But this blending also occurred by force under the colonial rulers, especially in 1685 when King Louis XIV issued the Code Noir. which set rules for the treatment of enslaved people and also decreed that missionaries should try converting them to Christianity. Voodoo played a major role in throwing off colonial rule during the Haitian Revolution. On the night of August 14th, 1791, a group of enslaved Africans met at Bois Caillaman, or Alligator Forest, for what has been variously described as both a political rally and a religious ceremony led by a Voodoo priest, Dati Boukman, and priestess Cecile Fatiman. They made an offering of a wild boar to the spirits and made a blood pact to win their freedom. Historians have described this night as the start of the Haitian Revolution. War broke out all over the colony, and over a decade later, the rebelling captives finally won their freedom, declaring their independence on January 1st, 1804. The Haitian Revolution was the only successful slave revolt in Atlantic history to have resulted in the establishment of a new nation and a black republic. Since independence, African-derived beliefs and practices have held a precarious position in Haitian society.
The most famous voodoo queen was Marie Laveau. She was a devout Catholic and attended Mass at the St. Louis Cathedral that is just right at the corner of Bourbon Street.
But based on pop culture depictions, you might think voodoo is all about human sacrifice and putting curses on people.
Following pictures, taken at the risk of his life, were procured for curiosities by a member of the Marine Guard. The hideous voodoo ceremonies are held in secret and buried locations. The ceremony begins at sundown and continues all night, becoming wilder and wilder as the fanatical dancers work themselves into a religious frenzy. At midnight, the supreme sacrifice is made, during which a child of 3 or 4 years of age is killed and eaten. Children for the sacrifice are plentiful because it is considered the greatest honor of voodooism to be chosen as the mother of a sacrificial victim to the serpent worshiper.
No, we're not crazy. No, we're not going in some backwoods sacrificing any babies or anything like that. No, we're not digging up any of your people's graves or any of that stuff. We are practicing a legitimate religion.
Well, the thing about voodoo, that thing, they can get a voodoo doll, like the voodoo doll here, and just stick pins in it. In Hollywood, they do that. In the movies, they do that to make money off of it. But voodoo is a religion.
There were voodoo ritual that was going on, and there was a woman there. I don't know what she was there for, but she gave her kids away as a sacrifice. And I watched them. This is not something people have told me, or this is not stories I've heard, but something I've witnessed. That as soon as she gave the baby to the priestess, which is the mambo, and the priestess threw the baby in the fire pit, and the baby started yelling and everything.
I took this photo in Haiti during the celebration of Day of the Dead. Many people go to the cemeteries to make voodoo ceremonies. This man went inside the tomb. I stayed outside waiting for him. In one moment, he threw a body outside from the tomb. He was dancing with the body, lying with the body on the ground. He had his face with a white dust. That means he's in a voodoo trance in this moment. He put again the body on his shoulder, and the spine of the body broke. And he threw the body to the ground.
Everything is one on voodoo. Everything is one in life. So when they kill the bull, it's not really a sacrifice. It is what we call au partage. Au partage is a sharing. We're sharing, what we have.
Miragouane is a small port on the Haitian coast. Businessman Gary Maziel once was the town's mayor. But Maziel has another side. As a voodoo priest. Gary's family has a problem. As village priest, Gary must try to solve it. Recently, Berto, a young cousin, began acting strangely.
I was doing my ceremony here, and I see Beto start talking a little bit differently than yesterday. And I said, what's happened to Beto?
As a voodoo priest, Gary Maziel also serves as a community healer. In the House of the Spirits, he will ask for help to restore Cousin Berto's sanity. Relatives, including Berto's father, gather in the temple and begin to summon the spirits. An answer comes not from an ancestor spirit, but from one of the most powerful and feared voodoo spirits, Baron Samedi, Lord of the Dead. He takes possession of Gary. The spirit reveals the cause of Berto's trouble, his own father. The Lord of the Dead goes after the man.
This is your fault. You are the one who put him in this situation. You have money for women and cockfights, but you have no money to help out your sons. If you cannot be responsible for your family, they will become my responsibility.
In neglecting the ancestral spirits, Berto's father angered them. They struck back at Berto. Gary tries to free Berto from the spirit's grip. He presses Berto's father to make amends with the spirits. Reluctantly, he agrees. In voodoo, when believers resist the spirits, they must pay. To those unfamiliar with spirit religion, it might seem like black magic. But the powers of the spirit world work for both good and evil.
When I heard that people saying that voodoo is devilish, people drinking blood, eating fresh meats, you know, I get upset because I never been a part of it.
People are celebrating the change of seasons. But Berto still rages, and there is no sign of his father. It's a grim reminder of the spirit's power and the danger of ignoring their demands. Despite attempts to destroy spirit religion, voodoo has survived. And those who serve the spirits enjoy voodoo as a celebration.
Hi, I'm Diane Gumbo Marie here in the French Quarter. I am a native of New Orleans, and I'm here in front of my ancestral home, which is where my 6th generation great-grandmother lived, Catalina Destrahan. She's actually buried in the same cemetery as Marie Laveau, St. Louis No. 1 over on Basin Street. At any rate, we do believe she may have practiced voodoo here herself in the early 1800s. People often ask me about voodoo and voodoo dolls. Voodoo dolls are a tradition that date back to the late 1800s here in New Orleans, and they're all made a little bit differently depending on who the voodoo practitioner is. So some of them are made like this with Spanish moss and grigri bags attached. Grigri is another good luck amulet that you will find all over the city of New Orleans, and she has the X across her chest, which stands for the Quasi-Yen in Haitian voodoo, which is where the world of the living meets with the world of the dead.
Kelsey Anderson gave Joey Graziady a voodoo doll on night 1 in the Bachelor Mansion. Kelsey is from New Orleans, a city at the heart of superstitions and magic. Did it help her win his heart?
Perhaps the ultimate expression of voodoo's sinister reputation was the voodoo doll,
a popular tourist souvenir sold in New Orleans to this day. What is the real purpose of voodoo dolls? Are these exotic figures intended to possess supernatural powers? Surprisingly, beneath the distorted legends, there rests a factual basis for the voodoo doll myth in the reality of carved wooden figures from Africa called boccio.
In works of this sort, known as boccio, which means literally empowered figure or empowered cadaver, took human form and then were wrapped with various cords of powerful vegetable materials. Pegs would be inserted into parts of them, for example, this peg into the mouth, which was intended in part to silence those who might speak against one.
The so-called voodoo doll probably comes from a type of power figure prevalent among Congo people, and it has a medicine bundle in the interior of the figure, and when you want to make an oath or make a strong request, you take a piece of metal, a nail, and drive it into the power center.
Because slave owners feared the powers of such boccio, slaves were forbidden from carving figures in wood. Ownership of boccio was prohibited, and for a slave to possess one meant certain death. So the slaves developed a more secret way to express their beliefs: rag dolls, figures that could be more easily concealed. The voodoo doll would come to symbolize something both powerful and sinister. But are these enigmatic figures inherently evil?
I can make a doll of myself, use it as a focus to help me to center and to channel my energies and direct my energy to certain parts of my body for healing. But no, I do not use voodoo dolls for jabbing them with little pins and invoking spirits of darkness to cause harm to my fellow man. Even though people do it, that is not one of the main staples of voodoo.
Nevertheless, Vodou practitioners today are in conflict with a growing population of evangelical Christians who characterize Vodou practice as demonic and cast the Bois Caillaman ceremony as a blood pact with Satan instead of a proud national story.
Approximately 50 stab wounds.
Shocking details read in court as LaTarsha Sanders stood expressionless. Her family, though, in tears.
An innocent little boy who stabbed 50 times is never... it's tough to get your arms around that one.
Police say Sanders stabbed her sons to death, 5-year-old Lasan and 8-year-old Edson Brito, found covered in sheets on their beds. Their bodies only discovered by a neighbor when mom called for an ambulance for herself, having an apparent psychiatric break. Police believe they were killed over the weekend.
She indicated that she used a kitchen knife to stab both of them and she left it in the sink.
In police interviews, Sanders confessed to killing the boys as part of a ritual. Relatives say she often ranted about the Illuminati. And neighbors say she's into voodoo.
She explained the ritual and stated that it came out wrong with the first one and she had failed, and for that reason she had to move on to the second child.
When it comes to Haiti, understand that when it's dark outside, that is the Loa's time.
This is the loi time. You are not going to be walking around in Haiti because they said so. If you are walking around in Haiti at night, you will get a warning. It's not going to be from the police. It's not even going to be from the people for real. It's going to be from either a loi themselves, or it's going to be any type of spiritual person in that realm warning you that you need to be in your house because it is not your time. The way Haiti operates, they say that humans, us regular folk, our time's in the daytime. Nighttime, that's daytime. That's when they do their stuff. That's when they celebrate their stuff. Mainly the benevolent stuff. Mainly the evil things. I'm talking about that's when the lugauts come out. Sadly, one of my cousins did pass away about a month ago because of a situation like this. And literally, by the time my cousin got back to the family house, he was deaf, could not speak, and he was sick and deteriorating sick. Like literally by the hour, he was just getting worse and worse. He had been struck with a horrible fever. He could not speak, he could not hear, he could not drink, he could not eat. It was bad. He had diarrhea. Okay, he just got ridiculously sick. Then his friends followed suit. They got ridiculously sick. Of course, they tried to bring them to doctors, but the doctors were looking at them like, let me guess, was he out at night? And they were like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do here. So they had to bring him to an Ogon. The Ogon tried everything to save his life, but he died like literally within a day or two. He died. Like this is a really true story. And you don't bring babies to Haiti. And that could be a whole nother video and a whole nother story time session in itself. Babies die in Haiti all the time, especially when they're coming from other countries, because lugauts eat them. Yes, shapeshifters eat babies because they are condemned for life for being ancient voodoo practitioners, and their punishment is to have to seek human baby blood in order to survive. So lots of people sit there and they kill babies. And you guys are like, Ivana, listen, I'm not laughing because this is very true. So if you're gonna bring your kids to Haiti, don't bring your kids to Haiti. But if you're gonna bring your kids to Haiti, again, don't bring your kids to Haiti. If you're gonna bring your kids to Haiti, watch them. If you have a kid in Haiti, make sure you well verse them. Yeah.